Welcome back to round 4 of the Salem, Oregon Regional Championship. This match we're featuring Joey Gaffney, who got top 4 in the senior division of Worlds this past year, versus the 2011 Masters Division World Champion David Cohen. As we're getting into the latter half of the tournament, this match holds a lot more significance, as the player who loses here will likely not be able to make the top 8, so players are getting eliminated very quickly with only 7 rounds. And it appears to be a Blastoise mirror match. It looks like Joey went first, started with a Keldeo, dropped a Squirtle and a Black Kyurem, had no energy to attach, and shipped it back to David, who opened a Squirtle and the Black Kyurem EX, and is now Skyling. How do you feel about the Blastoise mirror match, Isaiah?
I feel like it's one of the most thoughtless matches in existence.
That's fair. Yeah, a lot of times this match will come down to just whoever gets the first Blastoise out, and then whoever can just keep streaming the Black Kyurems.
Yeah.
Joey Gaffney and David Cohen also played. I believe they played at least in the top 8 of the last regional we streamed, the British Columbia one from this past year, where Joey was able to beat David and then win the whole event. Or sorry, he beat David and he lost in the finals to Grant McClellan.
Yeah.
So going first is a huge advantage for Joey here.
I think one of the swinging factors will be how many of the non-EX Black Kyurems they both run.
Yeah, as we saw a little bit in the match with Rico Connor's Raybor versus Bidier's Blastoise a couple rounds ago, the non-EX Dragon types definitely matter in a mirror match like this. And I don't know either of the players' list, but I would assume they both run 1. But I'm not actually sure. Do you have any info?
I have no info. And unfortunately, since Catcher has been nerfed, you can't really go for the get rid of your opponent's Blastoise type of move either.
Right.
So it really is just a prize exchange, unless they're teching and Catcher like Paul was.
Yeah, I don't imagine that either of these players run catcher, but I don't actually know. But I mean, if the catchers will, I guess, start to matter if David runs one. Let's say I think David would be more likely to play one.
Yeah.
And if he plays one, it might be of relevance, but if he misses, it obviously doesn't mean anything. But if he hits it, it can swing the matchup. A big thing too is who can just. I mean, getting the first, as we saw, Joey gets a Blastoise up turn 2, which is ideal, but he can't get the Black Ballista. Not that he would really even want to against a Squirtle.
Yeah.
But also, I think more than just the speed, it's the keeping up with it, being able to get Black Ballistas and get ahead of the game, but also thin your deck out with Ultra Balls and just being able to recover from an N. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the Embor. Oh, so David does play a catcher. He has
I see that.
2 in his hand, or
just 2 of them. Yeah, 2.
All right, so this definitely changes things. If David can knock out a Blastoise ever, or just even catcher up something that Joey doesn't want to be catchered up, it's also possible that Joey doesn't know that he plays catcher, especially if Joey himself doesn't play catcher, because I don't think it's super popular.
Right, I think it's just kind of like an X-Files-y type thing.
Right, yeah. I've only seen people from Team X-Files run it, so.
This will definitely be a little interesting with the catchers being put into the mix.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously whoever can get off the first attack is going to have a huge advantage, but it appears that David's just going to pass in Tropical Beach.
Yeah, David has no energy. It looks like Joey, if he wants to, can get the Black Ballista. Maybe Joey plays catchers too. We actually don't know.
But at this point, going into attack is kind of stupid, at least with the Black Kyurem. But he's got the Keldeo, so I mean, that's fine.
It's very good there.
He also has a fully charged Keldeo and a fully charged Black Kyurem, so he's sitting pretty.
Perfect.
And he's got the Juniper.
So if you're Joey and you have a catcher, do you try to play the catcher to Black Ballista, the Black Kyurem? Or do you just take the Squirtle prize and
I would
sit
just
back
take
on
the
that?
Squirtle prize, and if he can't get another Squirtle out, I would save it to get rid of his Blastoise.
That's totally fair.
But he's got another Squirtle, so.
And David still doesn't have energy. I know he has an N in his hand. I don't know if I saw any of the supporters, but he's going to have to rely on the N to get some energy going. One thing I was going to say too is one of the things, along with catchers and along with non-EX Black Kyurem's, one of the things that can swing the matchup, as we talked about before, is Electrode.
Yeah, definitely.
Allowing, and also Egg to a certain extent. I don't know which of these players play Execute, but
yeah.
Egg can help you get back from Ns.
The late game's got to be purely N, and both of those cards thrive under N pressure, so.
Definitely. So David goes ahead and plays the N. He draws a single Lightning, a Rare Candy, a Tropical Beach, a Juniper, an N, and not much else. He can go ahead and attach the Lightning, but he's going to be in some trouble. He does draw at least one more water off of that beach, but Joey can go in and...
Yeah, he just left that Black Kyurem up there to die, so... That's
not
cool.
that he had any other option, but...
Yeah. I mean, Joey's kind of got a god start, so...
Yeah. If Joey can knock out the...
Put on more.
Yeah, if Joey can knock out the Black Kyurem with the Keldeo, that'd be quite a feat. But I think he'll be happy enough to...
Did he have a float stone or something on the Keldeo?
Yeah, he has a float stone.
Okay, I was like, what?
Something I was going to bring up too. How do you feel about that card in Blastoise?
I think it's a nice thing to have if you have that 60th slot, but it's definitely not necessary.
Yeah, I would agree. I like it a lot. I played it in the lists I've been testing with in the past, but it's so hard to justify the drop in consistency.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to have it. And there's a knockout on the Black Kyurem.
Like before that, I would consider like either the catcher thing or like Execute or something.
Right. Yeah, it's obviously like always going to be like your 61st or 63rd card, you know?
Yeah.
So Joey has a commanding lead. I mean, not only does he have a Black Kyurem that's not really in range of getting knocked out anytime soon, unless David draws very well, but that Keldeo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energy on it? 5 energy on it?
5, I think.
So that Keldeo is building up to knock out quite a few things too.
Yeah.
We see David with a dowsing machine. He's going to start by discarding a Squirtle. I think he discarded a Squirtle at least.
Does he want to reveal that he has catcher? Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing too. I mean, obviously, I think David is a good enough player, and he probably didn't think he had many other options. But I would do anything not to reveal that I have the catcher. Yeah, that's
what I was thinking.
There's even a water energy in his hand that I think I would have pitched.
Yeah, he doesn't really need that.
Pitched long ago. Was he even considering what to get? Wait, what is... Oh, David. So I assume he's getting the N. He's just being sloppy?
Sounds about right.
Oh, did he get an Ultra Ball? Okay, so he got an Ultra Ball and he's discarding those 2 cards.
Damn,
That's... Having to discard a superior energy retrieval in the mirror match when you're already behind is not where you want to be.
Yeah, that's... Oh, he's got Juniper, so...
I mean, the Juniper helps, but even just being in the position where you have to discard the superior, you know?
Right.
But...
I was just wondering why he was doing that.
Yeah, I know. And he's not threatening the knockout here at all. So...
Don't promote that Black Kyurem. Don't.
If I were Cohen, I would definitely leave the Squirtle up. You can't afford to retreat into anything. And there's the beach from David. And
has he seen any lightning?
I don't think so. And there's a superior. Gonna buy back all the energies Joey needs. And
yeah, if he gets those energies on the Black Kyurem and then rushes in and then takes out the Squirtle, the game's over.
Yeah, smart of him to rush in too. He definitely wants to protect that Black Kyurem to just take whatever prizes he needs next turn rather than risking it.
Or he could just put all his energy on that Keldeo too.
Yeah, knock out anything.
I've got everything I need. I don't really care anymore is what he's saying.
Yeah. And once again, I'd like to remind everyone that if David Cohen loses. Maybe not here. I don't know if he'll drop just being 2-2, but if he does get eliminated from this event, he said he would do some commentary, so hopefully we can get a little interview and get a former world champion's insight.
Yeah, I would like that.
And we got Keldeo on the bench. David still needs to rip. I mean, David needs
to rip his opponent's cards because he's not winning.
Yes, he needs Joey to get a game loss somehow. Stranger things have happened. So I was going to say that he needs to catcher the Black Kyurem, but the Keldeo has so many energy on it.
Yeah.
That I don't think that David. I don't think that David really has it out here. Yeah.
I mean, bear in mind, his Keldeo still doesn't have enough energy to knock out a Black Kyurem, but he's like 2 away.
1 away. And
yeah,
David
probably. I can't do math right now.
Doing. Dave, Washington State champion Matt Oslakovic has won his 4th round to move to 2-1-1. Still in it. Joey misses the catcher flip, plays the second catcher, and that's gonna be game, folks. So in 11.5 minutes, Joey Gaffney has taken game 1 from David Cohen. Just a few updates. That's round 3. Just a few updates. We have Tyler Ninamura played James Good last round at 2-0, and they unfortunately unintentionally drew. This means they're both 2-0-1 now. And I'm not really sure of many other matches going on right now. It's very early in the round, and I did not get pairings for this round. But we are we're more than halfway done after this round with day 1 of Swiss. I'd like to remind you all to check out twitch.tv/onthebubble for the Southern California stream. I believe they are about an hour ahead of us, and they got back from lunch about an hour ago. So they're probably a good round ahead of us by now. So yeah, I think this matchup is pretty easily broken down in just whoever can get set up first and then stream the Black Kyurems. I also didn't see any non-EX guys on either side of the field.
Yeah. I would say there's multiple factors to determine who's a winner of this kind of match. The first one obviously being if you can stream Black Kyurems. The second one is how strong your late game is in terms of ends and thinning your deck. The other thing is I guess how you handle your resources. Like if you do what David did and kind of discard your superiors and stuff, that could really hurt you. And then lastly, of course, are your non-EX attackers.
I think Joey was pretty smart there to build up the Keldeo.
Yeah.
Kind of just have that as an attacker.
And then also the catchers thing. Like if you run those, you could really do some damage if they're played at the right times.
Definitely. It appears both players run 2. And we see David scanning through his deck. He does play a Black Kyurem non-EX, and it is not prized. I think that's what he's grabbing, actually.
Yeah.
And I imagine he's grabbing a... sorry. I imagine he's grabbing a level ball to search for a Squirtle. And... I mean, I guess it's possible that Joey doesn't run the non-EX, though. The game was quick. He didn't go through too much of his deck, but we didn't see one, at least not to my recollection.
I don't know if it's become a standard to run them or not, but...
I mean, I think if I were going into this regionals, I probably would. Blastoise has been pretty popular here, and Raybor has not been super popular, but it's been around, you know, and Raybor just did well at the Virginia regionals as well. So Cohen gets a Squirtle out, but once again passes with no energy. Oh, no, sorry, he has an energy. I'm sorry. Joey's going to take his first turn. Ultra Balling away 2 water with the Black Kyurem, getting a Squirtle. So Joey, I mean, it's turn 1 obviously, but it's a pretty ideal turn 1 for Joey. Getting energy in the discard pile, getting energy set up. Gonna go ahead and beach. And I imagine he'll just be drawing 6 off that beach. And Cohen hopefully can get the turn 2 Blastoise, but I don't think he has it in his hand. I think he's going to have to end. He has a rare candy.
I think it'd be pretty cool if he could rare candy Blastoise, energy, and then capture up the Squirtle and knock it out, because then that puts David at an enormous advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, he does not have the catcher, but he does have a Skyla for an Ultra Ball. I didn't see the Skyla in his hand. I apologize.
I think he's playing conservatively and just getting another Squirtle, maybe?
No, he's getting a Blastoise.
Oh.
I mean, I imagine. He has a rare candy in hand, yeah. And his other support, his hand is just energy retrievals of various sorts and then an N, or it's like multiple N's. So I assume he's just going to rare candy and then beach. Which is not the worst. Like, if Joey can act first, but he'll be knocking out a Keldeo.
Yeah, I have to wonder, because now Joey can technically do the exact same thing I was talking about and capture up the Blastoise and knock it out.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think that requires a lot more effort.
Right.
On Joey's side, it requires a lot more energy, but it also has, like, I think that would probably just lock David out of the game. Not just because the Blastoise would be knocked out, but because in order for that to happen, the Keldeo has to be big, which means that the Keldeo would be putting on pressure while David misses a turn or two to get the Blastoise set up. And Joey looking through his discard pile, he plays another Keldeo onto the bench. David, when we selected him for the feature match, he had said how Joey kind of had his number. I guess he's never beaten Joey in a tournament, and he's played him a couple times, so. And Joey not getting much either, and just has to, not a single energy actually, and just has to go ahead and beach.
yeah, for a second there I thought he was going to pull that off.
Me too. And now Cohen can do the play we were talking about.
Yeah.
Which I don't think has as much impact as it would have, but with no Squirtle, it's going to be a whole other series of turns before Joey can get another Blastoise out, if that happens. So,
once that happens, the only option for the Blastoise player is to put down 2 Squirtles at a time. Otherwise, he'll keep doing the same thing if he's lucky with those flips.
I mean, I think with only having 2 catcher and now on a flip.
Well, do we know that he only runs 2?
Cohen?
Yeah.
I guess it's not confirmed. I couldn't imagine that he runs more, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He ran 3 tool scrappers on Sunday.
He does some crazy things. But I think that in a world where you can assume that he doesn't run more than 2 or 3 and then run a flip, you can probably play 1 at a time.
Yeah.
I think last format with catcher not on a flip, you absolutely cannot. But I think for now you just kind of have to run the risk, because otherwise what can you do, you know? And David does have the catcher, he has the energy, so he can go for it. And I don't see a reason not to.
Yeah.
Catcher. Squirtle.
Oh.
He's doing it. Joey did have a bad hand. He got into a new one. I can't see it, but he's going to skip a turn, basically, trying to find a Squirtle. So this is David's. If David has a decent hand, this is his chance to really pull ahead. And it looks like his hand's fine.
Yeah, he's got that
He has
Juniper.
a Juniper and then some stuff that he doesn't really care about.
Juniper is my homegirl. For real.
For sure. And there's an N. So.
I haven't seen those new ends in action yet, the promo ones.
Yeah, the league promos. It's crazy. I keep thinking it's a Bianca.
Me too. It kind of looks like she's got like blonde hair.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Totally. And 6 new cards, 5 for David, I guess. And David has a Juniper again, and again a bunch of stuff he doesn't really care about. So
yeah.
Although he does have an N in hand as well, and I think I've seen a lot of players disagree with me on this, but if I were Dave in that situation, I think I'd just end there. Like, I think saving resources are so important that I would take.
Normally, I'm the type of player to go all in Juniper if I need to hit specific cards. But especially since he's got 2 Junipers in hand, I definitely wouldn't Juniper.
Oh, he does the second one too. I didn't see that.
Teeny deck in 10 minutes.
And Lane Tower, what's your record, Lane?
202, like a champ.
Lane Tower World 2013 qualifier, moves to 202 after beating a Victini deck, in his words, with his Bouffalon in 10 minutes.
That's right, Bouffalon.
I'm like an ass. Thanks, Kenny.
You're welcome.
You didn't lead it. He got benched up.
Oh, another catcher. This is going to be huge. Oh, and it misses. I think that would have sealed the game for David there.
Yeah.
But he does. I think David should Ultra Ball here and get a Black Kyurem out just to really take advantage of his lead. Is that an energy search?
Yeah, he's running the best one.
It's a nice one. Looking through his deck, I don't know what else is in David's hand, but man, it reminds me of the old Pokemon Reversal days. And there's going to be a knockout on the Keldeo as well.
And then he's going to top deck the Garchomp on the DCE, like always.
Dragon Rush. You know that attack did 80 damage? Like, you know how silly that attack would look now?
Yeah.
You like have to literally 3-shot things with that.
80 damage to your Keldeo. Go ahead.
Exactly. So he's Ultra Balling. So he has a decision now. He has a Blastoise in hand and a Skyla and an N. And which one would you get rid of? You're getting rid of the Blastoise, of course, but which supporter would you go with?
Between Skyla
and N. Knowing that you're going to knock out the Keldeo here and be on 3 prizes, of course.
I guess the N.
Yeah, David went with the N. I think you just have to. Like, you're so far ahead that even if you miss a beat and just have to Skyla for Juniper next turn or whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Especially because you're drawing 2 cards here as well, which could be supporters or could be stuff to power up your Black Kyurem. Additionally, if you draw a Lightning, you can retreat the Keldeo and put it under your discard pile for a superior or regular energy retrieval, which you can get off the Skyla.
See, now if Joey knocks out this Keldeo and uses an N, I don't know if he played a supporter or not, then you could take this game back if David just draws nothing.
Definitely. And it looks like he's gonna go for it. I don't. Okay, the Juniper.
Juniper. Still pretty high.
Yeah, David doesn't have a whole lot of cards in hand. That does put a bunch of energy in the discard pile for David to be able to Black Ballista. But I don't know if David has the necessary pieces. I know he has a water in hand.
He has a Skylight, I think, though.
Does he have any electric in the discard pile?
I have no clue.
But yeah. So I think we are going to see Joey Black Ballista knocking out the Keldeo. Judge coming over and signing the slip. There's no lightning in the discard pile, it looks like. But there are enough that he could knock out the Keldeo, or knock out the Black Kyurem with a Keldeo. If he can, oh, I guess is his hand just beach, Skyla, water?
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
So that's what I'm saying. David's playing a little aggressive.
He's playing very aggressive.
Joey's a little more conservative, so it's paying off.
And David draws a Tool Scrapper, which does. Well, I guess it can get the it can get the Float Stone.
I think he's fine discarding that Tool Scrapper since I know he runs 2 more.
Yeah. Yes, very fine.
I'm never going to get over that.
For what it's worth, a lot of players are moving. I mean, 2 wasn't unheard of, and I think a lot of players will be playing 3 right now. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
But I think, especially after Pram won with Garbodor last week in Virginia, I think 3 will not be unheard of. Or like 2 in a dowsing.
Yeah, he runs dowsing. I'd run 2 in a dowsing.
Yeah, 2 in a dowsing. Still seems a little aggressive, but
yeah,
it's probably fine. It probably doesn't hurt your consistency that much.
I don't think we've seen a lot of Darkrai Garbodor here, though.
No, I don't think there's. I mean, I know Amelia's playing it, but I think that's about it.
Yeah.
This is game 2. Joey took game 1. All of our games have gone pretty long today. Like, all of our matches went to time except Serena's, which is even like 10 minutes outside of time or something. We have a energy on the Black Kyurem. And I imagine just gonna go for a beach. I think attaching there is fine. What else are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Like you might as well draw an extra card. And there's a rare candy for a second Blastoise, just a little bit of insurance. David has played 2 catchers and a dowsing, so it's safe to say that he probably doesn't have another catcher, but you might as well play the Blastoise to get it out of your hands. Make your deck more consistent to be reliant against ends.
I wish I was cool enough to have Heelys.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids with Heelys in this venue right now.
Yeah.
Just want you to know. We're in the fairgrounds, and so the floor is all cement, and there's probably at least 24 kids having Heely battles.
That's okay. They don't know what light up Skechers are.
That's true. They make light up shoes anymore?
I don't think so.
Really? Huh.
If I find some, I'm gonna buy them all out.
There's a catcher. Yeah, so this catcher knocking out this Black Kyurem could be a big deal. And it misses. Are you in favor? I know we talked about this a little bit. It's a little kind of old news, but are you in favor of the catcher errata to be a flip?
No.
No, you don't like it?
Actually, I don't know. It's a very difficult subject.
It's fair.
I don't like reversal at all.
That's fair.
But I also didn't really like catcher in format either. So I would have liked a different solution entirely.
Would you have liked to outright ban the card?
See, that's where it gets tough because I don't like the idea of banning cards either.
Yeah. That's fair. I personally am not a big fan of either card. I don't think catcher or like Gust of Wind should ever be printed. And I think reversal is really bad because it can make decks lean on it too much. So we saw in the 2011 format where every deck played reversal and games largely came down to reversal. But I think reversal is okay. Like I think the catcher basically being reversal is fine for right now.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of the decks play it. So, like some decks do. Like it's an interesting decision. It's not like
They just need to stop printing the darn card.
Yeah, I agree. So David can get the Black Ballista knockout this turn if he wants to, and he can also play a second Black Kyurem out. And he has energy to power up a second Black Kyurem too. Not all the way, but I think he can attach one to it at least. David taking his time. Oh, you can attach 2 to it. Great. And if I'm David, I'm definitely going to Ultra Ball away that rare candy and Squirtle just to thin out the deck.
Cards.
The deck's pretty thin, but you...
Especially since I think Joey's also out of catchers, so he doesn't really have to worry about that Blastoise going away.
And don't really... I think if David plays the Squirtle, I think he has to Ultra Ball away support, or I guess he could just not Ultra Ball. I think that's incorrect, but
yeah, I agree.
It's probably not super relevant, but I don't think that it's where you want to be. There's a quick superior by Joey.
He has to have the N here, or he probably loses.
I mean, Cohen has Skyla.
Exactly, so he needs the N.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got it.
All right, Cohen. So David has to draw. Does he have an egg in the discard? Does he even play egg?
I don't think he plays.
Yeah, I haven't seen an egg. So he has to draw basically exactly Juniper.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, Joey's going down to 3 and doesn't appear to have extra energy for the Black Kyurem to load it up, so...
And his hand's really dead.
Yeah. But he did draw 2. Okay, so he draws
not
a
very
whole
good.
bunch of nothing. So I'm David here. I think you just...
But knowing David, he's got the Juniper because he's David.
He just miracled it. If I'm David here, I just sent...
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I was going to say, if I'm David here, I just send up...
I'll make it easier for you to knock me out.
I just send up the Black Kyurem and then... Oh, he does with the Juniper.
But then why would
But he discarded the Superior Energy Retrieval. Okay, so David has the game. Unfortunately, I don't think you want to send the Squirtle there. I think you just send up the Black Kyurem. Because there's definitely a reality in which David misses. And then just gets knocked out with a slash. But David takes game 2.
Yeah, there's no scenario in which you'd want to promote that Squirtle, but whatever you want.
I mean, I think his idea was just that he can rush in either way. Because I don't know.
He would have needed 1 less energy if he just promoted the Black Kyurem too.
I mean, yeah, I'm in agreement with you. So we're gonna get a game 3. Joey gets to go first, which will probably be a pretty big factor. Once again, you can check out twitch.tv/onthebubble for the NorCal or the Southern California stream. I think they're a round or 2 ahead of us.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that when you can listen to us instead? So.
I mean, yeah. Some people don't like to see David Cohen misplay on camera.
Yeah.
Check out TopCatCentral.com. Buy some stuff from them. The web store is not launched, unfortunately, but you can sell bulk and you can buy a playmat that you see the players using here. Top Central is definitely where you want to be if you're trying to sell bulk. I mean, they offer the same prices as their competitors, and they're supporting the game. So if you like the streams, if you want to support companies that are supporting Pokemon and you want to see the streams continue, please go ahead and sell some bulk there. Wait for the web store to be up. Buy a playmat. I don't try to promote it too much. You can see the logo all the time, but every couple of rounds I do like to remind you that Top Cat Central is doing basically what no company has done before. So after a quick shuffle, players are going to get set up. And looks like David starts with Squirtle and a Black Kyurem. He has a rare candy in hand, I believe.
Do you think 18 minutes is enough to finish a game?
Probably. The first game went to like in 10 minutes or something like that, like 15. Especially with both players playing fast and +3 turns. I'm sure he'll be fine. It could be. If the OTB Twitch is offline, it's just because they're in between rounds, probably restarting the stream or something.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But they will be back. It's definitely, I think it shouldn't be offline for the night. I think they probably have at least 7 rounds as well. Just keep up with that. And Joey goes first but gets no Squirtle. Ends himself into no Squirtle. And I know that, well, David did have the rare candy Squirtle before being N, so I guess he could very well not have it now, but that's going to be huge.
I think David just uses his luck and rare candy Blastoises and drops some energy down and says, "Good game, sir."
That's true. David Cohen, David's one of our best friends, and he's kind of known around here for being the luckiest player on the planet. He won a world championship after not conceding game 2 for about 15 minutes. Not conceding when he had about 15 minutes to concede, which made the finals of Worlds go down to a sudden death, 1 prize. Coin flip 2 went first, and Cohen went first and had the win when Ross had the win if he went second. David, David's very good as a world champion. You don't get to be a world champion without having some skill, but he's also just probably the luckiest person I've ever met in my life. Yeah. Love that kid. But there's 125 Masters today. 7 rounds today, and then a top 8 tomorrow. And
there's 25,000 people in St. Louis.
That's true. And I don't know how many are in California, but I imagine it's pretty big. I didn't have Day 2 Swiss last time, though, like in October at the NorCal one, so I can't imagine it has Day 2 Swiss this time, but maybe Southern California has a lot more players. Yeah. Not quite sure. And almost all of these matches are still playing. Like, well over 50% of matches, it seems like, are still playing, so we might see a lot of ties, which is going to mess with the top 8 math quite a bit.
That's up for debate, Keldeo.
And So Joey, I don't know what's in David's hand. But Joey does manage to get 2 Squirtles out. David has the rare candy and the Blastoise. What do you think of Blastoise art, by the way? Besides the shiny ones, like which one do you prefer?
Definitely Plasma Blast.
That's fair. Plasma Blast definitely has a more dynamic art. I like the original one just because I like original arts, but the Plasma Blast one is very cute.
I prefer the base set one. I try and sneak that into my deck, and they're like, oh, it's the same thing, right?
It's pretty good. And it looks like David Skyling, I'm not sure what's in his hand. I know he has 2 water in his hand. I imagine, yeah, so he goes for the energy search just to get the basic lightning, so he can get, I imagine he's going to go for the Black Ballista this turn. This match should be able to finish up. Remember that there are +3 turns, and we still have a little over 13 minutes, and David's about to take 2 prizes, so this match going to a draw would have to be the result of a lot of slow play by both players. So David has a catcher in his hand, no other supporter, I don't believe, but he's going to go for the Black Ballista, take 2 prizes, and I believe he drew a superior, so he's going to be able to Black Ballista next turn. And Joey, I didn't see what he got with that. Did you?
Mm-mm.
No. Yeah. And it looks like Joey does get the Blastoise. He does have the Juniper, and if he can get the Black Ballista this turn, or even the catcher Black Ballista on the Blastoise, that'll be huge. I don't think he has it, but yeah, it doesn't look like he has. Oh wait, maybe he does.
Your boy does.
Uh-oh. I didn't see the energy retrieval. I apologize. Huh?
I would have went for the Blastoise.
Yeah, if I'm Joey there, I think I definitely try the catcher at least. Although, no, I think I definitely go for the catcher, because if I hit it, you lock David out of the game basically.
Exactly.
I think his rationale might be that he wants to have a catcher for if David hits an EX but not the energy to attack with. But I don't think that logic really holds up. David thinking. He has quite the grip of cards, so he could have anything. It seems like he's considering his options too, which I imagine means that he has something, whether it's exactly what he wants or not, but he has something. Kabir Vergy seems awful excited about a match that he just won. Not sure why.
He beat 2012 senior champion Chase Maloney.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Battle of the Canadians.
Yeah.
That's rough. And David's going to Skyla. David playing pretty slow. I mean, I don't think this game's in fear of going to a draw quite yet, but he's definitely going to need to pick up the pace. Getting an Ultra Ball. I mean, I guess the other thing that this does for Joey not taking the Blastoise is it allows him to not have to play a 7-prize game and to just go, okay, even if you have the black, that's old ones. I don't know where the new ones are. Sorry, we're looking for pairings this round. But it allows him to not have to play tricks and just be able to go, okay, so I'm going to knock out your Black Kyurem. Even if you get another Black Kyurem and knock me out, I have my other one. Of course, I don't know if he actually has... I don't know if he actually has the energy retrieval to get the Black Blitz set up, but if he does, he can then go, okay, you have 2 prizes left, but so do I. I don't, you know, I just, next EX knockout wins. I don't think that's the best game to play, but it's certainly not unreasonable. And David gets a Keldeo EX, so he might not have, his other Black Kyurem might be prized. He Ultra Balled for the Keldeo.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gonna catch her, and I imagine he's gonna try and get the Blastoise, and he just beaches. It's just not good. So David had a lead, but it does not look like he's gonna be able to sustain that for much longer. Although it looks like Joey did miss the Black Ballista. I think he only drew 1 energy and no retrievals off of that. So extremely back and forth here. Floatstone on the Black Kyurem. Yeah, he does not have the Black, but it's going to retreat to the Keldeo. And I still think David having that other Black Ballista prize is going to be huge, and actually could attribute to this game being a draw.
Yeah.
If David is just like, if David's turns are just long thought out nothings essentially, and no offense to David, but if he just is taking a long time but not actually taking prizes, it could go to a draw. And he does with the superior. But not having another Black Kyurem is really hurting him. And you can take this prize with the Squirtle pretty easily, but I don't think it's going to really amount to much, especially if Joey has 1 energy.
Yeah.
There's a second Squirtle. And can't quite see what's in David's. Yeah, he has a Juniper, but I don't think he wants to get rid of those resources. I just think he needs to, especially when he's not really digging for anything, you know, I just think he needs to take the knockout. And, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Getting rid of, I mean, the lightning isn't really that relevant, but getting rid of the retrieval, I'm not a big fan of. I guess he could possibly try and be trying to draw a catcher and a bunch of energy, but I'm not a big fan of that play. What do you think? I believe David had a rare candy in his hand. I don't know if he had the rare candy Blastoise, but what do you think of potentially knocking out the Squirtle with the Blastoise? Like, assuming that you have another Squirtle on the bench and you have stuff to try and dig for another Blastoise, would you go for that, or do you think it's too unsafe?
I'm not really sure. However, assuming David has 3 prizes left?
David has 4 prizes left.
4 prizes?
I can't tell. What's he knocked out so far? So he knocked out...
Oh, it's 4.
Yeah, it's 4.
Never mind.
And there's the energy for the Black Ballista. And if Joey didn't have anything last turn, but I think he does have a Colress in his hand. If he can Colress and draw into a bunch of energy or a retrieval and put on another Black Ballista, he'll just lock up the game.
Yeah.
No, there's an N, so that's definitely gonna help things out here, put David behind. But it looks like Joey might be on the path to victory. We've been told there's a pretty sweet feature match going on at the Southern California stream. And there's a lightning energy on the Black Kyurem. Black Ballista for the knockout. Joey's down to 2. And Cohen draws. I imagine he has a superior. Looks pretty frustrated, taking some time to think. And I think, I mean, assuming Cohen doesn't have the other Black Kyurem, I think his only option is going to be to load up enough energy on the KLDO to knock out the Black Kyurem, and then hope that Joey's like 6-card hand or 5-card hand doesn't have the ability to return KO to get 3 water energies. So things are not looking good for David. But hey, crazier things have happened, right? There's a bunch of energy on that Keldeo. There's a Juniper.
What is it? Well, my Snapchat name?
And
It's XXBC, but for 20XX. That was my idea. Yeah, it was.
bunch of nothing in David's hand. I can't see Joey's, unfortunately. He's holding it kind of strange to the camera. I think he has an N, but that won't really do much for him. David is heading to Ultra Ball. What if David just Ultra Balled here and then took the Black Kyurem? He just had it the whole time and just didn't want to take it before.
Like, oh, it was there. Oops.
Oops.
I think parents always never see something.
Yeah, David plays 2. Wait, what? Okay, I don't understand that at all. Okay, I could be missing something. I could admit we've been up since very early this morning, and I could be missing something. But I don't see why David didn't go for the Black Kyurem earlier. I was working under the assumption that it was prized. But
It's not shitty, then that's terrible.
huh? Okay, am I missing something?
No, you're just. This is David.
Okay. Well, either way, he's still not totally out of this game. Especially now that I know he has a Black Kyurem, but all it takes is an EX knockout for Joey, and it's going to be game. I don't know if Joey has catchers in his hand or left in his deck. I'm not sure when he's played, but Joey does get.
In his third one, he just kind of dropped it.
There's a Skyla, so he can Skyla for Superior if he needs it, or catcher, whatever kind of combo he needs. I imagine that he'll be Skylaying. The chat's just going crazy. I imagine he's going to be Skylaying for the Superior, which he did, and then, in all honesty, if I'm Joey, I just think I load up enough energy on it to slash, and then load up the rest on the other Black Kyurem. Yeah, and Joey has essentially locked up the game. I guess if David...
No, David has to Superior Energy Retrieval, catch up the other Black Kyurem, and end him, and hope he doesn't hit an energy.
Well, for what it's worth, if he is able to do that, which is not ridiculous, it's totally fair that he can miss. Oh, catcher, and that's a miss. And it looks like that's going to be all she wrote. Cohen shuffling his hand around as a formality. We did get dangerously close to this game being a tie too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, dowsing machine for catcher.
Yeah.
We're so stupid. Joey doesn't have a water in hand. This could be it. This could be it. Dowsing machine. David Cohen. The spirit of David Cohen lives on. David giving a Colress and a rare candy for a catcher. And he misses. Okay, so David tried, but that's all she wrote. It's going to extend a hand pretty soon. And Joey Gaffney takes the round over David Cohen. David is, I believe, eliminated from the tournament at 2-2. I haven't ran the numbers, but I can't imagine that he'll be able to make it.
Yeah, he won't.
So we're going to take a quick break. Time should be called any minute now, and we will be back for round 5.